You know, if you open up the bag and there's blood on some stuff, you need to be prepared for it, or have somebody, maybe give to somebody else who can deal with it, okay? Maybe they can clean it up.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay, I understand. I wish they would clean property like that up before they give it back to us, but they don't do that. I just need to tell you that before we start, okay? Do you need some tissue or something? I can get some for you.
I'm fine.
Okay. Now there was some money that I think you were also asking about. Okay.
Was it in his wallet,
Well,
or was it?
Yeah, it was like $15 or something. It wasn't very much. I talked to the prosecutor. They've told us anything that deals with money, they prefer that we continue to hold on to that for now.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
And probably later on, that'll be explained to you. Maybe you don't understand why, but there are reasons why we have to keep the money.
I understand.
One, I think, was a deposit for one of your customers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully the insurance company is taking care of them.
I talked to my district manager, and he said they already got it covered for him.
Okay.
So, and I saw her at the funeral, and
Mm-hmm.
she had asked me about it. I told her that it was already taken care of.
Okay.
So I think they took care of that. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You don't know when I'll be able to get his cell phone or anything back, do you?
When I get the go from the prosecutor, I'll call you right away.
I just know that he has a lot of contact numbers in there that
Sure.
I
It's
don't-
like customers and
that
stuff?
I don't even have.
Okay.
That people that I really need to get a hold of, and
Mhm.
they're not in our computer system.
Okay.
Because a lot of numbers he just kept in his cell phone because he just talked to him all the time,
Okay.
and he never put them in. And I would always get on to him. I'm like, honey,
Mm-hmm.
you got to put them in the computer, because if I need to get a hold of him
Sure.
and I can't get a hold of you, how am I supposed to get a hold of him? And
Right.
he's like, I know, I'll do it,
Okay.
and he's never done it. So I'm not trying to rush you guys. I'm really
Yeah.
not. I just know there's some important numbers that I'm
Sure.
gonna need, and
Sure.
I don't have them.
Well, I think probably, anything that's in that cell phone, as you probably already know, we can get. And
Oh, I know.
We can download. So
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know that there's a big issue why we have to keep the phone itself if we've got all of the information in the phone.
Mhm.
Once again, to be honest with you, that's something I really haven't thought a lot about, and that's my fault because I
No,
haven't
that's
been
okay.
in contact with you yet.
I just
Okay. Typically, when I do work a case like this, I like to try to get with, the victim's family. In this case, it would be you there. Within a week or so at the most, just to
if I would have known you wanted to talk
introduce
to Miranda,
myself.
I would have brought her with me.
No, I don't need to talk to her today.
Oh, okay.
I already talked to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
meant to say.
You talked to her already.
I was the
Oh.
detective that talked to her when she came up here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But no, I don't need to talk to her.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said.
That's okay. That's all right. But within a week, I like to talk to folks. Now, last week was crazy. We were putting in, 16-hour days.
And I already heard you guys
Easter-
were already crazy.
Easter,
Before
yeah,
any of
before
this
that,
ever-
because we had another tragedy that occurred that we were just
I know.
wrapping up. And so I apologize that I haven't been able to talk to you.
No, it's okay. I understand. I know you guys are all busy.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get on with our lives, but it's so
I
hard.
understand. I don't even know what to say when I'm sitting down with somebody like in this situation.
I never dreamed I would ever be in this situation. Ever. We were
Wow.
supposed to grow old together
Mhm.
and retire together.
Well, and you had a beautiful life, didn't you? You were married for almost 20 years, weren't you? You got 2 great kids. You had a good, good business, and I'm sure you probably have a beautiful home.
All I can say is that God has just blessed us tremendously through all of our lives.
Mhm.
Through getting married, and our children, and our church family, and our business. It's all because of what God has done for us. It's not because of what we've done. It's because of what God has done. We've just tried to be faithful to Him.
Sure.
And I guess that's why I feel like that I just tried to leave everything in his hands because I know he's in control of everything.
Yeah.
Even though I tell my pastor and my youth pastor, I know I'm not supposed to question him, but it's so hard not to.
And I think, they also say that God's not going to do anything to you that you're not strong enough to handle. Now, I don't know why this has happened. I don't know. Like I said, I guess someday you'll find out when you go to heaven and you talk to the Lord, and He's going to tell you why.
And I keep asking him that. I keep asking him. I mean, I know I'm a strong woman, but I need my baby back.
You're going to have to be strong because you got 2 babies out there, don't you? I know Michael, I know he's 18, but he's still your baby.
He's leaving Monday to go back, or Sunday to go back to college.
Is he going to college down at, is it Pensacola? So what he told me, I talked to him the other day, so.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go back, but I told him, I said, Michael, that's not what your daddy would want.
He wants to be with you.
I know, and I want him to be with me, but I feel like that his college education is very important to me. And this is what he wants to do, what you're doing right now.
He's a CJ student, yeah.
And this is exactly what he wants to do, even more so now. And he only has 3.5 weeks left. And his best friend that goes to our church, and we've known him for probably 5 or 6 years, and he is going to continue to stay with us until Michael gets back from college. Okay. And so Miranda and I won't be in our house alone. Okay. I mean, we have a security system and everything, and that I'm not really worried about. I'm just knowing that someone else is in the house with me that I know.
Sure.
And I know he can protect me because he's kind of like a trained fighter. I mean, he's training to do those fights and stuff.
The
UFC, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I know that he will. I know he would give his life for Miranda and I. He's like my adopted son. Sure. Because he's just a couple years older than
he's
Michael.
He's Michael's best friend. Are they best friends? Aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and so he's just been super.
But you need that support system. I know you got the church in your family, but the church is the church, and your family's back home, and you're in a house.
I know.
So to have people in the house to lean on.
And my parents were just like, you know what, we'll come in and stay with you every night. I'm like, and my dad, both my parents are retired. And they live in Bay City. They live quite a ways away, and I guess you could, I'm the baby of the family, so I am my daddy's girl. So if anything happens to me, or if anything happens to my dad, we're just right there.
Right.
Because just 3 weeks ago, I was in the hospital for gallstones, and I've never had anything like that in my entire life, ever. I've never been in the hospital for anything, just to have my children. Right. And I had them natural. I had nothing. I've never been sick. My husband and I, neither one of us had ever been sick, ever. And all of a sudden, there I was in the hospital with 3 gallstones. I'm like, this is just not supposed to be. And my dad was right there. 4 o'clock in the morning, he was at the hospital. That's just how my parents are. Sure. And and it's been really hard for my dad because Randy was like a son to him. And my dad was Randy's as close. I mean, Randy's dad died when he was 52. And they really did not have a real close relationship. So my dad was his dad. I mean, he called my dad and my mom dad and mom all the time. I mean, it was just like they were, I mean, it's been really hard for my dad. And I think it's hard.
What's your dad make of all that? I mean, what does he think?
He doesn't know what to think. None of us know what to think. I lay in bed at night and I just wonder.
And that was one of the things I wasn't going to ask you right now, but since we're talking about that, I'll go ahead and ask you. I mean, it's been, about 12, 13 days since this
2 weeks today.
2 weeks. So in 2 weeks over this time frame, has anything popped up into your head that you might even try to explain why anybody would want to do such a thing?
I don't know. Randy knew so much more people than I did,
Mhm.
because he actually came more in contact with our clients and stuff that I did.
Right.
So, and I wasn't always there because Michael and Miranda were in school, so I always had to go pick him up. And then when I picked him up from school, I went home and I stayed home with the kids.
Okay.
He didn't want me to come back and work late.
Right.
I hardly ever worked late.
Okay.
Hardly ever, unless we had something that both of us had to get done and we had a lot of work that we had to do.
Mhm.
I never worked late.
Would Randy tell you if he was having an issue with a customer or even an associate or something? I mean, if it was really getting ugly, I mean, would he share that with you, or would he keep that to himself? Or had he shared anything like that with you?
Because we've never had any issues, no problems with anybody. So I would hope he would tell me, but he also knows that I worry about everything,
Sure.
and he doesn't want me to worry about anything. And he's always been the, he's a Marine,
Mhm.
so he's always been the
Take
tough,
charge.
take charge, and I can handle it. I can handle everything. I don't ever want you to worry about nothing. I'll take care of everything. And because when I was in the hospital, I told Randy, I said, okay, how are we supposed to pay for this?
Mhm.
And I did everything in my power not to go. I did, because that's just me. Not that we don't have or didn't have a lot of money, but because we don't have a lot of money,
Mhm.
we're just very frugal with things,
Right.
and but I'm cheap. He always told me I was cheap, and I don't spend money. He was the one that spent the money.
Okay.
As I found out that I have no credit cards in my name, nothing. They're all in his name. So I have
Oh,
nothing.
really?
I have nothing. I have no credit cards in my name. None.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he would never put any of that stuff on me, ever.
He was a generous guy.
He
was
just-
generous, wasn't he?
Oh,
Generous guy.
are you kidding me? And he always said that I taught him how to be that way, because I'm a very giving person.
Mhm.
I love serving people. I enjoy working with people. In my church, I enjoy
That's what I
doing
hear. Everybody
whatever.
we've talked to thinks very highly of you. You're very well liked.
I love working with people. I love serving people. I'd rather do things for anybody. I don't care what it takes. And my children know that, and my children are the same way. My son would give his shirt off his back. That's just how he is. Michael has a heart of gold, and I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, I watched, I heard about your Argentina trip. And I watched your presentation that you gave to the church. Did you know that was online? Yeah, I watched it. It was very interesting. But and I listened to Randy gave a sermon one time, and I listened to that because I want to try to get to know Randy, because I just feel like I need to know you. He's not just a name on a piece of
He
paper.
was a wonderful man.
He sounded like he was a very, very nice guy, and everybody loved him.
Yep, he was always right there beside me. We always did everything together. And if we didn't do it together, we'd find a way to do it together. Always.
Well, you need to know that we're pulling out every stop that we can to find out
I know you are.
who murdered your husband. And we've got every resource we have at this department we're using. We've got the federal agencies involved in this to help us do things. Last time I counted, I think last week we were up to about 32 different detectives and agents were working on this case. Okay? So we're doing everything that we possibly can. We've had tips come in. We followed up on all of them. We're continuing to get tips from time to time. The tips hotline has provided us some information. And we've gotten some information from sources we didn't even expect. So I'm hopeful, I'm very hopeful that this is going to bear fruit, and we're going to be able to make very, very good progress on this case for you and for your children.
And you don't know, as far as our business computers and stuff, I know they took all of them.
They did. Now you have to remember that in this building, we don't have the equipment needed to download and examine that type of equipment.
Right.
That has to be outsourced.
Right.
And right now, the computers are actually in possession of federal agents.
Right.
So they are actually doing the magic they do. And once again, kind of like the cell phone and everything else, just as soon as we don't need it any longer for any reason, I'm going to be getting on the phone and calling you. I'm going to say you can come and get those right now.
I understand.
So I know those are business computers. Were there personal stuff on there too that you needed to get to? Or is it
No,
just
just
farmer
business
stuff?
Just all my stuff was farmers now. As far as Randy's, I mean, he had all of his emails and stuff going to all that stuff. So
Sure.
as far as I know,
Okay.
we don't have any personal stuff on there. I don't have any personal stuff on it.
Now, do y'all have a computer at home?
Yes, I do.
Is it in operation?
Yes, it is, but it crashed like a month ago.
Okay.
So I don't have anything on it.
Okay.
I have nothing on it. That's why I'm asking about the computers, because Randy's computer and my computer has all the farmer stuff on it.
Okay.
Has everything on it.
Okay.
And see, now the district office, they have permission to pull up my stuff.
Is that a desktop or a laptop that you have at home? Is it
No, it's a desktop.
desktop?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even thought of this, but while we're talking, I'm just throwing this at it. Do you think it'd be possible that we could try to recover some of that stuff prior to the computer crashing? Just to see if it might help us. It might maybe be something there that might.
Well,
we
never worked on our computer at home though. That's the thing. We were never on the computer downstairs.
Okay.
If I was on the computer downstairs, I was either checking my bank accounts or something like that.
Right.
I did most of that at the office.
Sure.
But like if Michael called me and said he needed some money or something into his account, then I would go downstairs and transfer. We only had the computer at home. If, like on the weekends, if a client called our office and we'd call and check the message and they needed something right away, and we would be at home, then we'd run downstairs and pull up something or replace a vehicle or fax and proof of insurance if they needed it, which our fax doesn't even work at home anymore. So,
Okay.
but most of the times if you're an agent, they usually take your word for it over the phone and say, well, just fax it to me Monday when you get in the office.
Okay.
So that's what we would do. So you can, if you need the computer at home, that's fine, but there really isn't anything on it. His emails didn't come at home. His emails came to the office. All of his emails came to the office and on his cell phone.
Okay.
Everything. That's how he set it up, and that's how it all was.
Okay. And you're right, there may be absolutely nothing on there, but I'm just one of those kind of guys. I want to find out.
No, I understand.
And if there's even one sentence on an email or something that might give us some, help us.
No, I understand.
I don't want to lose it. So.
No, I understand.
But if it crashed, they may not even be able
Well,
to.
the motherboard has crashed 3 times
Okay.
on it, and we just replaced the hard drive
When did you?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
And Randy didn't even put anything on the computer.
Okay.
He didn't put anything on it because he told me we were actually going to sell that computer because we were going to go independent.
Okay, right.
And so we were going to keep our 2 computers we had at the office and sell Peggy's computer, the one that they took in the hall, in the reception area there.
Right.
We were going to sell that to her and sell our computer at home because it crashed. There was nothing on it. We didn't even have a thumb drive.
Okay.
We didn't have anything. We didn't back up anything because we really didn't do anything on it.
So the hard drive that's on there now is only about 3 or 4 weeks old?
It's just about 3 weeks old.
Okay.
And there's just and he didn't download anything on it. I mean, nothing. Because I got on it the other day and I was like, okay, I don't even have the farmer's website to even pull it up. I didn't have anything on there. He didn't even download it. No, normally the farmer's website is our homepage because that's the one we go to all the time. But he didn't even download that on there.
Okay.
So I just don't. You're more than welcome to have it if you want it.
If you don't mind, I mean, when you go home, we can have one of our people go over and pick it up.
It's just that's
on
the
your
only thing that I have at home.
Yeah.
That's my only problem.
That's the only computer?
That's it. That's all I have.
Okay.
That's all I have. And if I ever have to do anything, I don't have a computer to do anything.
Yeah, you know, if there's not, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make promises I can't keep.
No, I
would just
understand.
tell you that if we took it, I mean, I would tell them, please expedite this. I want to get back to Theresa as
Yeah.
quickly as possible. Just download what's on there. We'll look at it later.
Mhm.
I just want to get the computer back to her.
Right. But like I said, I just know, he didn't even look at his emails on that computer downstairs. And we just never hardly ever used it. We just had it there, cause like the kids need it, Miranda needs it for school,
Okay.
cause she has to have computer for school for her stuff, you
Sure.
know, and before Michael went to college, he had to have it.
Okay.
So, but we bought Michael a laptop, so he has that at school. But I just, and I'm not trying to tell you not to take it. We just never used it for anything personal. None of his emails. I know for a fact, none of his emails. He never looked at his emails on that computer downstairs because it was all to the office, and it went straight from his Outlook to his cell phone.
Okay.
And we don't even have Outlook on that computer at home.
Okay.
He's never downloaded it. We've never had it. We've never had to use it for anything because we've always had it at the office.
Sure.
And we lived at the office,
Okay.
pretty much.
All right. Well, you know, I'll leave it up to you. If it's okay, I'm going to arrange to look at it because that's just what I do for a living. Okay.
Mhm.
But nobody's going to. I'm certainly not going to twist your arm. Or I know how dependent people are on computers these days. You know, I mean, my whole life's on a computer. Right
I
now,
know.
so.
I know.
But if you allow us to, then I would like to do it, and I promise I will get it back to you just as quickly as I can download it, okay?
Yeah, because I do need it for
Okay.
some stuff.
I will tell them expedite. Teresa needs her stuff back.
That's fine.
Okay, so we'll make sure that we get out there this afternoon.
Okay.
If you're going to be home.
Yeah, we have church tonight. We'll be home till about 6:30.
Okay, all right.
So my parents are coming over for dinner. I don't even know what time it
It's
is.
a little after 4 now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Couple things, I just got a couple notes down here because I know that this wasn't scheduled. You may have other things to do, so I don't
That's
want to
okay.
keep you here too long. Let's see here.
I carry my baby with me all the time. My district manager made for me and Michael and Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
They went on his Facebook and got pictures of him.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Isn't that
You
neat?
got 3. And you
Yeah.
got room for one more. What's that? I don't have my glasses on.
It says a love without end. That's what it says. And it has 3. This picture was taken in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that picture was taken in Argentina also. And this one was taken in front of our fireplace on my daughter's 16th birthday.
Yeah.
And they, for the kids, they put him on a keychain and had a verse put on the back of it.
And then farmers did that.
Actually,
Farmers?
my district manager,
Mr.
Randy's district manager with Farmers did that.
Mr. Davis? Is that okay?
He has just been, he's just
Really
been,
stepped in and kind of took control of that
yeah,
office.
he's just
didn't
been,
he?
yes, he's just been totally awesome. And I just never dreamed, of course, I never dreamed any of this would ever happen, so I just didn't, he's just been wonderful. I mean, he is just taking care of everything for me.
Okay. Well,
I don't even, I mean, I don't know what to do. I really don't.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
I've-
it's just all at
It's like
once,
my whole
everything.
life has just been taken from me. I know I have my children, but it's like,
You're dealing with your emotions, but then you also have to deal with the realities of life.
I know.
And, you know,
And I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do as far as keeping the business and surviving.
I know that you guys were going to go independent. Is that something that's not even reality now?
I can't do that by myself. It was something that Randy and I were gonna work hard together.
You're going to try to
But
go
I
in
just
that
can't.
office on Nolan Road? Or another office somewhere?
I'm gonna have to find another office. I can't go
I know
back
you
there.
can't go back there.
There's no
There's no
way.
way you could do that. I'm sure farmers.
My
can
parents wouldn't let
locate
me
you.
either.
Oh, boy.
My daughter definitely won't let me.
You don't need to go back to that.
She won't even go near it. I don't even like going in there. I don't go in there by myself.
I wouldn't either, you know.
I can't.
But,
It's like a nightmare.
Well, you just have to, every morning when you wake up, you just have to remember that you have family and friends that love you
I know.
and support you, and the Lord's going to look after you.
I know. I go on a run every morning. I try to.
Yeah.
And I talk to God and I talk to my baby.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds corny.
It's not corny at all. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to find out who did this. I guarantee you. We're going to find out who did this. And that will give you some closure. I know the kids need it. The kids have to have closure on this. They cannot spend the rest of their lives wondering, why did this happen to my dad? And they're going to be married someday and be having grandbabies, and you know, they need to know. They need to know what Grandpa share this.
Miranda is keeping a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Her and I both are, actually.
Yeah.
And she wrote in hers, what am I supposed to do at my wedding? Who's going to walk me down the aisle? Who's going to be there when I graduate?
I know. This is hard. It's hard. Okay. How about, I need to talk to you about this. When the crime scene examined, when they went in and did their thing, one of the things that they do is they take swabs looking for DNA. Okay. They did swab a lot of stuff. They sent that down to the lab. The lab people are telling us these are pretty good swabs. We can actually profile these, what we have. But of course, we don't know who the DNA belongs to. It could be yours, could be Randy's, could be Peggy's, because she's in there a lot. So, if it's okay, we need to get your DNA to eliminate. That way they know that, okay, this is Teresa's. Her DNA is supposed to be there. Don't worry about it. Okay, so it's just a little thing where they put a swab in your cheek and then they send it to the lab with the other evidence. Are you okay with that? Can we do that? Okay. So I need to get a buccal swab from you so we can do that. I'm also going to have Peggy come in just as soon as I get hold of her, so we can get one from her too.
Okay.
There's really nobody else that spends a lot of time in that office routinely.
Just the three of us, and she's usually only there every Friday.
Right. So, but we'll get hers just to be sure that she's
That's
eliminated too.
That's fine.
Let's see. I talked to you about. I'm going to be trying to get a hold of you probably every couple of weeks at the most, just to kind of tell you. I mean, I can't tell you everything that we're doing, but just to let you know that things are still working, and we're still working hard, and kind of what we're doing. If the day ever comes where we just absolutely have nowhere else to go, and we just don't think that we've followed every lead that we can follow, and we just don't think we're going to solve this unless we get a phone call, from a caller to give us new leads, I promise I will call you and I will tell you. I will tell you, Theresa, we can't keep working on the case because there's just nothing else for us to do. We've done everything we possibly could, So I'll let you know. I'm not going to just let you for a year, 2 years think, well, they're still working on the case every day, because if that's not the case, I don't want to mislead you in any way. All right. So I promise I will call you if we ever stop working on this case. And I'll try to get a hold of you to kind of let you know where we're at as time goes by. If you ever change phone numbers or anything, please let me know so that I can get a hold of you if I need to.
I will.
All right. Once again, we already talked about the property. It's going to be bagged up. You probably might want to let somebody else deal with it before they give it to you. So if it's got, blood or something on there, maybe you might have them clean all that up before you see it. It's up to you. I'm just giving you a heads up on that. Okay, like I said, we do have a lot of hopeful leads, and we think we are actually making some progress on this case. Okay.
I've been praying.
Well, I think everybody has. So.
I know they have, because I can feel it. I don't think I can make it through my days if it wasn't for people praying for me.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions of us, or anything that we can do to try to help you right away? I mean, I know the computers we talked about, but and a cell phone, but is there anything else that we can do for you
Um,
to try to help you?
no, I don't think so now. About the DNA stuff now.
Mhm.
My daughter she would come to the office with me sometimes after I picked her up from school. We were running back to the office sometimes too, so I don't know if you
Yeah.
might want to take one from her or not. I mean, I'm just trying to help you out with that because
Sure.
I know she has sat at Peggy's desk, she sat at my desk,
Okay,
so she's been
okay.
there. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll get yours and Peggy sent down there, and then we'll
Okay.
see what they say about
Okay.
that. And I don't want her to come up here unless she absolutely has to, so if I think,
Yeah, she's
'cause I
already
know she's,
panicked enough.
I don't want to upset her.
Let me ask you something. Detective Brady, did he mention anything to you about me being followed?
He mentioned something to me, what is today, Wednesday? Was
Mhm.
it Saturday or Sunday? It's been a while since he mentioned something to
I
me.
was followed last Thursday when I took my daughter to school, and I was followed again on Monday.
Okay,
And my daughter was with me, and she was
okay.
freaking out.
Well, why don't you tell me about it?
Which one? Both of them?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, Thursday morning, we used to leave our house at 7:15. And how many years have I taken my daughter to school? And there's never, ever been a vehicle sitting in the driveway of the church on Lee Summit Road.
that's the one Brady told me about.
Yeah.
Was that the first one?
Mhm.
Because that's the one he told me about.
Mm-hmm. And I lost them on my way home because I took a different way home. And they didn't get through the light. At least 23rd and 291.
Is that just him sitting in him or her, or could you tell?
It was two guys.
Okay. And just them sitting in the church. Did anything else happen?
They just pulled out as soon as I pulled out. As soon as I pulled out of Lee Summit Road, they pulled out.
Okay.
And they followed me. When I changed lanes, they changed lanes.
Okay.
I mean, they did everything I did. And they drove very slow to try to stay far enough away from me. Both the guys had sunglasses on. They were probably, I would say they're probably in their early 40s. But when I turned on Little Blue Parkway to take my daughter to Tri-City, they turned the opposite direction that I turned.
Okay.
But when I came out of I was in Tri-City Christian School for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because I had to meet with her principal. And, but somehow they knew when I pulled out of Tri-City because they got in the same turn lane. They even cut off a vehicle.
Same vehicle?
The same
It
vehicle.
was in the church?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What kind of vehicle was it?
It was a white Trailblazer, one of those extended ones, and it had the black racks on the top. It had no license plate on the front, but it had one of those black frame thingies, I guess, for where the license plate would fit. I never saw the back license plate because they never got in front of me.
Okay. White Trailblazer. Late model, kind of?
No, it was fairly new.
New?
I would say it was probably a 2007 to 2009.
Okay.
It was very clean. The wheels were very shiny.
Okay.
And
you noticed that vehicle with you all the way to Tri-City?
all the way to Little Blue Parkway.
Okay.
And Monday morning, my brother stopped by my house and talked to me. Well, Monday morning, I told Detective Brady that now there was a Ford Ranger that had police written across it, and it said voluntary police or something like that. Now I did see it. It came down Broad and made a circle. It turned right in front of my house and went back down Broad.
Okay.
Now right after that, there was a black Chrysler 300 that came down my street, stopped in front of my house where the street crosses, went down in the cul-de-sac, turned around and parked in front of my neighbor's house down there. And was down there until I got done talking to my brother Dwayne, and I talked to him for about 25 minutes in my driveway.
About what time did you first?
This was about a little after 9, probably 10 after 9, something like that.
Okay.
Because I didn't leave my house till about 9:45.
Okay.
And
So I left my house at 9:45, and I went up. I was going up to 10, and I went up to 10, and they were right behind me on Lee Summit Road. As soon as I pulled on Lee Summit Road to pull on to 24 Highway, they were right behind me.
Okay.
And somewhere between, let me think. I'm trying to think of the name of that street. It's right there by, oh my goodness, what is the name of that street?
What area are you talking about?
On 24 Highway. I'm heading, I don't know my directions very well, sorry. I'm heading east.
East would be like
east.
out to Susquehanna.
Yes,
toward-
I'm heading east on 24. Yes, I'm heading east on 24. Man, what is the name of that street? Oh, goodness. What is the name of that street? Because I know they
East or
turned
west
on
of
that
two-
street.
East or west of 291.
They turned,
Before you get to 291.
oh yes, yes. Oh my goodness.
There's Lee Summit, there's Viking, there's Holder, there's.
It's
gosh, how many streets are
it's right before, it's before Tasty Freeze, and there's that Bullard, auto body.
Yeah,
Okay, and there's that street right
I
there.
know what street you're talking about.
Okay, they turned somewhere in that area,
Okay.
and I never saw them again until I got back on, until I passed that street again. So it's like they were sitting there waiting on me to pass again,
Okay.
and then they got right behind me and followed me till I got into the turn lane to turn back on Lee Summit Road, and then they passed me, and that's when I saw the license plate, and it said Illinois license plate on it, and it was the same vehicle. They had some kind of GPS or something on the mirror, on the windshield of the driver's side.
Okay. Have you seen the vehicle since then?
I have not. I have not.
What about the Trailblazer?
I have not seen that
since
either.
then? Has anything unusual happened in the last, that was Monday?
Well, when
today's Wednesday?
I got back home, and I was supposed to go pick up Miranda's boyfriend because he lives like 5 minutes from us. So her and I went together to pick him up, and they followed me to his house
Okay.
when I was sitting in the driveway. And there was another vehicle that joined in with him.
What vehicle, when you were going to your Miranda's boyfriend's house, what vehicle did you notice?
I noticed the black car and a gray,
The black Chrysler?
and a gray one.
And
It
a
was
gray car?
same kind of vehicle.
Similar to the Chrysler?
Chrysler 300, yes.
Okay.
And they both followed me the same spot.
Okay.
They both made the same turns I made. In fact, when I turned into his housing addition, the black one turned at the top of the hill and waited. I saw him pull in
Okay.
by a house and waited there.
Here's what I suggest on this, and I don't have a good answer for you right now. Brady did talk to me about this, but that's been several days ago. I didn't really think much about it at the time. But, some of this other information you're telling me I hadn't been made aware of.
Well,
There's a couple of things that could be going on. One, of course, there's the possibility that you're just, with everything that's
am I
happening.
panicking?
That's one possibility that I'm not saying, but I'm not saying it
I
didn't
understand.
happen.
I understand.
I have heard that at times insurance companies sometimes will launch their own investigations.
Well,
but don't know.
I asked my district manager about that,
Mhm.
and he said, no way.
Okay.
Farmers would never do that, ever. He said they would, he reassured me over and over again, but they would never, ever do that. Because that has nothing to do with anything.
What about any other insurance companies? Because I haven't even looked at,
Farmers is the only one that we've been with Farmers for 13 years.
Okay. Y'all don't have policies through any other, you always
Nope.
use Farmers?
Nope,
Strictly
everything was
Farmers?
with Farmers.
Okay.
And like I told those other guys when they first interviewed me, I told them, I said, my husband took care of all that stuff.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
And I don't want to scare you at all, so please don't get scared or anything, but we do know that from time that occasionally, when you have an incident like this and it's kind of high profile, in other words, there was a lot of newspaper articles, there was, I understand, just a
You don't think
huge
it could have
turnout at the
been like the
funeral and
papers
everything.
or whatever?
Papers, I'm not sure what they'd be fishing for.
I don't know either.
But sometimes what some folks will do, and you said you have an alarm system on your house correctly.
Mhm.
Sometimes, and this has happened more than one time, when there is a death in the family, we actually have people out here in this community that read the obituaries and stuff. And when you got something kind of high profile like Randy's death,
Mhm.
they actually are trying to watch you and see when a good time might be to actually break into your house to do a burglary. I don't know if you've thought about that. You say you had an alarm system?
Mm-hmm. And I
Okay.
said it every time I walk out my door.
What they're doing is, because here's the deal. A lot of times when you have an unexpected death, or even when it's an expected death, but a lot of times when somebody dies, there's money involved. People, they get money from their employers, maybe they get money from policies, but all of a sudden they're into a little bit of money.
Mhm.
All right, and that's normal. But we have burglars out here. We have people who basically make a living breaking into houses, and they will target people where there has been a death in the family. With 2 or 3 weeks after the death, they figure, okay, maybe there's cash in the house, because like you said, a lot of times churches get together and they give somebody money to help cover expenses, and so they're looking for money. They're looking, if they think that somebody has fallen into money, now maybe they've bought a new plasma TV or something, they're looking for that. Now, I'm not making this up, but they may be watching your house just to see if there's a pattern when they know everybody's gone, and they're going to try to keep the back door, and they're not looking to hurt anybody, but they're looking for cash and property and stuff like that. A lot of times people will leave town after a death like this.
Which we did, but I had someone stay at my
that's
house.
Good, okay. So, I'm not saying it's that either, I don't want to scare you, you got enough
I
on your mind,
I
okay?
understand.
But this does happen. People will actually get on the internet, do the research. I mean, they can find your address in a heartbeat on the internet. And they will wait for you to be gone, and if they know you like to go, for example, well, just talking to other people, I know you usually left the office to go get Miranda to pick her up at a certain time, so you get into your normal habits.
Mhm.
Well, they may be looking for your normal habits right now.
Well, here's another thing though, that what I told the detectives 2 weeks ago, my husband has taught me to be very aware of my surroundings.
Sure.
That's why I don't know if that was just a sense that I had or what, but here's the thing with Randy and I, when we were at the office and we worked together, he wouldn't come in till like 10 o'clock
Okay.
in the morning.
Okay.
And then when he got in, I would go home. I would go home and work out, because I get up early and take Miranda to school, and then I would go into the office. I was in the office by 7:45 every day.
Okay.
And I would work there till he got there. And when he got there, I would leave sometime between 12 and 12:30, and I'd go home and I'd work out. And I would either come back and work until I go get Miranda, or I'd stay home until I go get Miranda.
Okay.
So Randy was very cautious of that, and Randy is very smart when it comes to just common sense. He's very smart, common sense. I mean, he may not have went to college and may not have had a college degree, but he was the smartest man I know as far as common sense stuff. I mean, he would tell me and the kids stuff, I'd be like, never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But he would think about it.
Sure.
Because of him being in the military, he was in combat so many times when he was stationed in Hawaii. He was in combat. He was over in Bosnia. I mean, it was in his head. And so he just taught me, He taught me how to be protective of myself. He taught me karate. He taught me defense classes. He taught Miranda and I that all the time. He even taught my son, because he just taught me how to be.
Well, it sounds like it, because you were able to pick up on unusual traffic in your neighborhood and so forth. So
it's just something. After 20 years, how can you not? I mean, he just taught me how to.
Okay. Well, do this for me. Then if you see the next time, whenever you see something like this, and you just know for a fact, and what you need to do is you need to call 911. If you have a cell phone, you call 911, and you stay on the line, and you tell them that somebody's following you, and that you're afraid. What they will do is, as you're driving down the road, they will continue to ask you, where are you at now? Where are you at now? They will get a police cruiser headed your way and try to intercept you and get that car pulled over.
Okay.
Now, you just keep on driving.
Okay.
They're going to stop the car.
Right.
They're going to identify the driver, try to find out who he is. They will identify him and so forth. And at least that way we know if you're being followed, who that person is, and ask nothing else, ask for an explanation.
Right.
Are you following this car?
Yeah.
And then we can do some background on that driver or whoever passengers in the vehicle. We can do some background checks and find out if they might be, like I said, might be somebody that's just telling you because they're trying to set you up to break into your house.
Here is something else that shocked me: how they found me so fast. Because when I was on my way to get Kyle, which is Miranda's boyfriend, when I was on my way to get him, when I was turning on to the ramp to get onto 291 from Truman Road, because I go down Lee Summit Road, hit Truman, and hit 291 and go in that direction. They passed me. They drove right past me. But not 2 minutes later, they were right behind me on 291. How did they find me so fast? That's what I want to know. How in the world? As I was driving, I was like, how did they get behind me so fast?
Yeah.
How did they know that was me?
Yeah.
I mean, I told my son, I said, have they bugged my car? Have they bugged my phone? I mean, I don't know.
Well, these burglars, they're not known to use bugging devices. That's a little high tech. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I'd have to be there myself.
It's just very disturbing to me, because I've never had anything this happen before, ever. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have not come into a lot of money, okay? I have not come into a lot of money.
You don't have to convince me, but what I'm saying is people, but you have to remember what a lot of money is. $5,000 is a lot of money to a common thief. Okay?
That's true.
$2,500 would make their month. Okay, these people, when they steal, when they look for, most of the robberies we have, they don't get more than a couple $100. But they're willing to go to prison over $200. They'll be more than willing to break into your back door for $2,500.
And we do live in a nice house. My husband came from the wrong side of the track, and he'll tell you that. He came from the East Bottoms, and he was bound and determined that he was not going to live the life that his parents lived. He was not going to do that. He was going to make sure that his kids lived better. He was going to make sure that I had what I needed, and that's just the way he thought.
He's a good man.
He even took care of my parents, and he was gonna help them pay off their camper. They just bought, because he knew that they could not afford it, and he knew that we were going to be using it.
Sure.
So he told them that he would pay for half of their camper. And somebody out there robbed my husband of a blessing and robbed me of a husband for the rest of my life.
I know.
It is not fair.
I know, Theresa. So, like I said, you call 911 the next time somebody's following you. All right.
I will.
We're going to catch.
I felt bad calling Detective Brady, but I didn't know what else to do.
The thing is, I don't know, Brady. He can't really help you. That's why.
I know.
You got to call. And if you call later, it's hard to really help you.
No, I understand.
But if you call 911, that dispatcher can start moving patrol units your way, and they can help you. And that's how you need to handle it.
Okay. Well, now I know.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be with you. We're gonna try to help you the best we can.
I
If you
know.
ever need anything, you call us. Okay. okay.
No.
I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna call the crime lab gal to come down here and get a buccal swab real quick
Okay.
from you, okay?
Mhm.
Once we're doing that, once we're done with that, we'll run down to the property room. You probably have to sign a couple of pieces of paper, release that property to you, and then we'll get you on out of here so that you can get home. I know you got a dinner, it's 4:30 now. You got a dinner date, you know, with your in-laws? Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
my parents.
Your parents,
Uh-huh.
okay. Okay, and then,
And then we have church. We have to leave our house
we
at
have
6:30.
church tonight,
Yeah.
so, and, what I tell you, I met your pastor, Pastor David Love.
Oh, did
I
you
met him.
really?
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's super. Him and his family, they've just been awesome.
Oh, I tell you, that's, I really was impressed with him.
They were awesome before this.
Yeah, I understand you all
But-
were, he told me that you all were, actually both your families were, you know, very friendly.
played
with each
games
other
together
and so forth, so,
And go over to their house for dinner and
Yeah.
just, all the time.
Yeah.
We did
I've
it
had
all
at
the
least
time.
3 members of your church invite me. I've talked to them, invited me to come out to the church because y'all have, they said you cook.
Oh, yeah.
And that visitors always get to eat for free.
That's
on
right.
Sundays.
That's right. I cook in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Randy and I also had a Sunday school class. I sing in the choir.
Yeah.
I clean the church.
Mhm.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I work with the teens too.
Yeah.
So it's just something that is the way I was brought up. My parents brought me up that way, and it has not only is it my upbringing, but it's something that my heart desires.
And you've been
to
there
do
since
that.
I heard you've been there since you were a little girl.
I've been there
Same.
since 7. Since I was 7 years old.
Yeah. That's
So
that's
I've been there for
home to
30.
you.
I've been there for 31
You've
years.
seen them come and go, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
It's been pretty great. Oh, my daughter's calling me. She's probably
Oh,
freaking out why I'm
okay.
not home yet.
I'm gonna go call a crime line.
Okay.
Call your daughter if you need to.
Oh.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Well, I was actually talking to the detective that talked to you. Do you remember him? Rosenwarn? He's actually the one that talked to you. And he is just super nice. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he questioned you and Michael both. No, at the police department. Yeah. Oh, he is super nice. Just super, super nice. So he was just, giving me some rundowns of some things, and just I was just kind of talking to him about a bunch of stuff. So I told him about the people who were following us and stuff like that. So he's going. I'm getting ready to go downstairs and get Daddy's stuff, and then I'll be home. Yeah, they have him out in a waiting room. No, but that's okay. I really like this guy. This guy is he's the one that he's the main he's the main investigator of this, and I really felt comfortable talking to him. Yes, this Rosenwarn, yeah, I really like him. I really do. He thinks you and Michael. No, he went down. They got to get a swab from me because they found, my DNA and stuff at the office because, I work there and everything, and they just want to eliminate my DNA, and they got to call Peggy in and eliminate hers. So. He thought you and Michael were all just wonderful children. he thought I had good kids. Whatever your brother is too. Yeah, they are. So we'll be home in just a little bit, okay? Is Grandma and Grandpa there? Right. Oh, they're not there yet? Okay. All right, honey. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, bye.
They were outside in the van.
Uh-oh.
They are changing out vans, moving all their stuff.
Uh-oh.
Together.
Oh.
Did you get a hold of them?
Yeah, I talked to her. She remembered you. I told
yes,
her. I told her. I said he's really nice. She's like, yeah, he was.
My heart just goes out to her. I got
Alright.
a daughter, an only daughter, and it's just, you want to do everything for them.
I know.
You don't want anything bad to happen to them.
I know. She tells me all the time, Mom, I just want my daddy back. I'm like, oh, Miranda, if I had the power. I had to go up to our church this morning to make some copies and stuff because I don't have a copier anymore at the office, so I have it, but it's just kind of like buried right now with everything. And my youth pastor, Justin, said that he had a dream last night that someone found a way to bring him back. Oh my goodness. I was like...
That's somebody that has thought of nothing but what's happened since the 31st. To have those kinds of dreams, that's all they think about.
Well, him and Randy were like best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, they've only been here for like 3 years,
Mhm.
but I mean, they were so much alike. It's scary, seriously. And Randy he always thought of Justin as his brother. I mean, it's just the way it is. When you have been in a Christian family for so long, and then you have new people that come in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we took Justin under our wing, and I mean he stayed with us, for a while because we have our basement downstairs. We have a bathroom and a spare bedroom down there, and he just stayed with us the whole time.
Hello.
So, hi.
Okay, I need to, first off, this is just a consent that you're allowing us to take a buccal swab. So it's just going to be used so that they have so they, if I said it's your DNA that they retrieved, then it's explainable. I just need you to put your name here. It just says that, having been informed and fully understand my constitutional rights, which, well, you didn't really go into that, but basically you don't have to do this. That's your right. You can refuse this. Nobody's going to think bad of you if you don't want to do this, okay? She's actually just going to, and I guess I would hit saliva. She's going to take the buccal swab from saliva here, so we'll just mark that. You're going to actually put your signature. What's today, though? 11?
14th. Today's the 14th.
Good grief.
I know.
That's about 16. 3. Let's see. Just need you to print your name on that line, and then sign your name on that line that you're volunteering to do this. And then probably you want to check that box right there. So I'm going to try to get hold of Peggy today. Have you talked to Peggy anytime recently?
I talked to her, I think it was yesterday morning. She called my house. I wasn't home. She called my cell phone, left a message, and I called her when I got back home.
Okay. I'll try to get a hold of her later today.
Do you have her cell number? I have it if you don't.
Yeah, I actually interviewed her and I got that information
Oh, okay.
from her. So
Okay.
I should be able to get a hold of her without any problems.
Yeah, that's the only number I have for her is her cell phone.
Is it in that phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and take care of this first, and I'll make sure I have the right number.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I got it.
Okay.
Okay, just a swab on each side of the inside of your cheek. There's one. And these are sterile. Okay.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
I was going to ask you, has there been any conversation or discussion at the church about possibly sponsoring like a reward or something? Has anybody brought that up to you at all? And maybe you're not even comfortable with talking, like the pastor about something like that. Sometimes that generates, when there's, how people are, you get a little reward money, you start maybe getting a few more tips.
Well, my mom kind of mentioned something to me about that. I haven't, my pastor's out of town,
Okay.
so I really haven't, and we weren't here Sunday because we were out of town ourselves,
Okay.
and he left Monday morning, so
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to talk to him about
Okay.
anything.
That's just something that you might think about. I don't know, like I said, some people don't feel right about asking
Right.
for something like that, but I would, if you wanted me, I could talk to the pastor about that and just bounce it off of him to see what he thinks.
That would be fine.
Okay.
Oh, that's her number right there.
All right. So
I'm
so
sorry,
my
can you
glasses,
see
I
it? I'm
forgot to
sorry.
bring them to work today.
It's
so-
and if you leave her a message, she's really good at calling back.
Okay.
So, I'm not one to what am I looking for? Cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting here thinking, when you walked in, I was thinking, is this something that I would have to have my lawyer present with, and I
mean
don't know
on the
why I
vehicle swap?
would, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why I would, because
Well,
I have nothing to hide,
think
so
about it this way.
I just,
We know your
No.
DNA's in there.
Oh.
Because you work there.
right.
Okay. But when they look at when they look at an unknown
Mhm.
DNA sample,
Mhm.
they have to be able to say, okay,
They have to eliminate,
could this be Teresa's?
right.
We don't know if it's Teresa's
Right.
because we don't have her sample.
I understand.
So if we have a DNA sample from part of the room and it's yours, well, it's probably going to be, well, of course it's her DNA.
Mhm.
She works
Sure,
there.
right.
Of course her hand might be on that desk.
Right, right.
So all we're
Yeah, my
trying
hand
to
was all over that place.
all we're trying to do is help the lab out.
No, I
So
understand. No,
now,
that's fine.
if that profile doesn't fit you
Mhm.
and it doesn't fit Randy,
Mhm.
because we have his DNA, of course,
Right, right.
and it doesn't fit Peggy,
Mhm.
well then we're interested in that
Then
sample.
there's a problem.
Or maybe not even a problem.
Right,
It could
right,
be a
right.
customer.
Well, yeah, we have clients that came in all the time.
Sure.
I had clients sit at my desk.
Yeah.
Peggy had clients that leaned over
Mm-hmm.
on that thing up there
Sure.
in front.
So
Our mailman, our UPS guy,
exactly,
Randy had people sit at his desk all the time.
exactly.
So,
But what if
You know.
that sample, they run it through the system
mhm.
and it hits on somebody who's
Sure.
been in the system before,
Sure,
somebody who's already
I
been in
understand.
prison.
I understand.
So that
Yeah.
would be great if
Yeah.
something like that happened.
I understand. And I know my lawyer, Michael Daly, and he's a great friend. He's a client.
Mhm.
He's a great friend, and he's been very good at helping me, and stuff. And I'm just not one to not to cooperate when I know I have absolutely nothing to hide.
I know.
I was deeply in love with my husband, and I just don't understand why someone would take him out of my life.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it.
I know.
So-
You don't have to convince me, okay? I can see that you love your husband, okay?
Oh,
You want to do this hard part now? I'll go downstairs and get his property?
yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get this thing